What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. We are here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Saturday, December 28th, 2024. My name is Chris Drummond. I'm a freelance sports reporter based out of Minnesota here and proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a special guest that's going to be coming on with me today. She is a reporter based out of San Diego, California. She works for the Kaima TV. She is an MMJ. Her name is Karina Bazarte. She is going to be coming on talking about her why into journalism, and we're going to get to know her outside of her occupation. So without any further ado, I introduce you the wonderful, talented, and the beautiful Karina Bazarte.
Ooh, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
All right. It's wonderful to see you. I love
My
the
hair
band,
is
by
all
the way.
poofy. Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
you're welcome. You're welcome. I just want to say thank you for coming on to my podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder. And I want to ask you, how is your weekend going? How was your Christmas?
It was great. We went to Tijuana because obviously my husband's from Tijuana. So we went there. We spent the whole 24 and also the 25th. It's his birthday on the 25th. So we try to celebrate both things and, get it rolling. How was yours?
Mine was pretty good. It was pretty quiet. I'm here in Minnesota, so
Okay.
mom's in Georgia, and then my dad is in New York. So I didn't get a chance to visit family this particular Christmas, but it was very quiet, which is good sometimes, right? For us journalists, sometimes we need the quiet a little bit. So I just stayed home, had some dinner, watched some games, and yeah, just relaxed.
What kind of games do you watch?
Oh, I'm huge into sports. That's my genre of journalism. So, football, baseball, basketball, anything that's really contact, physical, I love it. I'm a lover of all sports, really, except cricket, because I just don't understand the sport. But
Okay. Do
other
you
than that,
possibly know that I'm a fan of Liverpool?
oh yeah, absolutely, yes. Anybody that follows your social media, they know you definitely get down with Liverpool, and
Oh,
soccer
yes.
is probably your number one go-to sport, if I'm
Yes,
assuming.
it is. It is definitely.
I love it. So, Karina, I want to reiterate to you why I wanted to have you on here for sure. You're a journalist. I'm a journalist. I know you have done some really unique stories, right? Because I typically do background research on every guest that I have on my podcast. I do know that you've had stories like covering fires. You've had stories covering cancer patients. I remember the one that I saw with the barber and the cancer patient that I saw. That was pretty neat of a story to do. I remember you was at Comic-Con for one of your stories.
Yeah.
Stories you also was at a fair. He was about to go on a ride. So you've done all different kind of stories within the journalism field, and I love talking to people about their why, because everybody's story is unique. Everybody has a story to tell. We're so used to getting the stories and doing the stories that we don't have a chance to sit down to tell our story a whole lot. And your story is just as special as those stories that you were doing. So I really do appreciate you allocating the time to take out to talk to me today.
Thank you so much. Actually, thank you so much for actually refreshing that in my mind because I totally forgot I did those stories, especially the cancer one, because that one made it on the nightly news. So I was really like impressed with that because it just felt really good to.
I was too. I was like, wow, that's amazing. Amazing that Barbara did that. Amazing the connection that they built, and just how much two separate strangers can come together. I thought that was just a great story
Definitely.
there to exhibit. But it goes into my first question that I have for you, and that is, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models growing up? Did you have any inspirations? Because I too grew up in the city of San Diego, so I would
Okay.
love that for sure. What is your why of getting into journalism?
Well, I always say that I want to be the voice for the people. And it started because my parents come from Mexico. They
Mhm.
were immigrants. They crossed the border illegally. And I was their first daughter. They had me very young. They had me at 23. I mean, it's not that young, but it's still something where you're trying to figure out the world. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
Absolutely.
at an age which you're 25, 26, you're kind of stable. But them coming in from, Mexico, not learning or not knowing English yet, it made it crazy for me to navigate and for them to know the education here in the United States. So I saw them struggle.
Right.
We were in just a small apartment. We couldn't really buy things, and I know that my things were very limited. And they put me in like the most I don't know, like the most challenging schools. I don't want to say, otherwise, but I felt different when I went to these schools, and it felt like
Sure.
I had to learn English by myself because my first language is Spanish. And what I
Sure.
would hear is, Spanish at home and English at school, which it was very challenging for me because I had no teacher at school. I had no mother who was like, no, this is how you pronounce things, this is how you write things. So I remember when I first started reading, and it was at second grade. Yes.
Right.
I started, reading at second grade. But the way that I started reading was I would take this yellow bus every single day, and I would just read the signs on every street, on every corner. Like,
Mm.
there's a hill, there's a bump, there's a stop. And that's how I started learning. So what inspired me was my parents, because now they're US citizens, they're homeowners,
Oh,
they're
that's amazing.
restaurant owners. And but I saw them struggle, not only because they couldn't navigate the United States, but also um border patrol, la migra, and all that. So
Sure.
I saw them struggle. I saw them being scared of the border patrol, and I'm being scared, even though I'm a US citizen. So
Right.
I said I wanted to do stories that people don't know other people are struggling with. So one day in third grade, I had like this journalism class. This was in third grade, elementary school. And
Wow.
this journalist from Fox 5, her name is Sasha Fu, she came in and she started talking about how she would share stories and how she would tell stories and how good she will feel that other people will get to read or get to visualize what other people would do. So I said,
Sure.
you know what? I really like that. I really want to tell my parents' story because they're successful, and there's a lot of people that think, oh, immigrants come and they destroy and all that. But not my parents. My parents were a whole complete different thing. They came here, they struggled, they worked, they created a thing, and now we're here. And that's how I came about to be a journalist. I first wanted to be a crime scene investigator because I love
Okay.
crime. And
Mm-hmm.
then I said that was too much science. So I went with I went with my gut, and it was journalism. And that's how I'm here now.
Well, the camera definitely loves you. There's no question about that, Chris.
Thank you so
Um,
much. Appreciate that.
very, very welcome, and that's an awesome, awesome first answer to the question. I know you went to San Diego Mesa College, which I'm
Yeah.
very familiar with, and then you also went to San Diego State University, home of the Aztecs, which I'm
Yeah.
also very familiar with, having lived there for a good chunk of my life. Talk to me. Were there any other schools that could have persuaded you from going to Mesa College or San Diego State University, maybe venturing out to a different state?
Honestly, I'm a 619 girl. I would love to stay in my city forever and ever. This is where I want to retire. This is where my next step will be. And I'm emphasizing that because, if you want to conquer something, you got to make sure you put that in your brain. But I wanted to go to Point Loma Nazarene, but since, I had that fear that had to learn everything by myself, I didn't know how to apply to colleges.
Sure.
So I always and I come from like a family who was full of like, cholos, gangsters, and all that. So for me, like I always say, I wasn't supposed to be a journalist because I didn't have the right tools and stuff like that for me to navigate correctly. So when it came up to applying to colleges, I was like, I don't know how to do that. I'm not going to ask for help. I don't even think I'm going to be going to college. But my parents always pushed me. They were like, you have to go to college if you want to learn a little bit more. So it first started as like my parents pushing me, okay, I have to go to college. It's either that or get me 5 jobs in order for me to survive. So I
Sure.
did that. I did Mesa College. I got pregnant in college. And that's when I was like, reality hit me. And it was like, either you bring a child to this world and give her lots of stuff and be her number one role model, or you
Mhm.
can struggle, you know? So that's when I started to be very focused in journalism. I pioneered one of the first podcasts in Mesa College. And there was one counselor that told me one day, like, hey, I think you can apply to San Diego State. And I
Sure.
said, I don't think so. Because my mom was always be like, I want you to go to the big university. And in Spanish, she would be like, yo quiero que vayas a la grande, which is the SCSU. And
Right.
me not believing in myself, like, oh, I'm not supposed to be doing that. I'm not capable of that, Um,
Mhm.
I always thought that I couldn't go. So that counselor was like, no, let's sit down and let's talk about it. And one day he calls me, he was like, can you come into my office? And I came in and he was like, I just need you to sign this. And he already had started my application to SCSU. And I'm
Yep.
like, what is this? And he's like, it's your application to SCSU. And I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna make it. He's like, it's worth a try. So he sent it in. He did everything for me, and I got in.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Yes. And Point Loma Nazarene, familiar with that as well. That's also in San Diego as well.
Yeah.
So obviously I was 6192. I know this area code's at 858 as well. That's
Yeah.
there in San Diego. So no doubt about it. Huge San Diego representative over here as well. What high school did you go to?
Point Loma High School.
Okay, so you went to Point Loma High School. I remember many battles with them in basketball, football, especially basketball. Though I went to Kearney High School, so
Okay, my cousin went to Kearney.
yep. So I was in the SCT. That was my school because
Okay.
I know Kearney is split between 4 schools. So SCT was mine. So no doubt, I love that. That's what's up. I want to ask you some favorite questions, Karina, and you just give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions. Are you with me?
Yes, I got
Okay,
you.
let's rock with it. Let's do it. Favorite meal you like to cook?
Dang. Rice with chicken and vegetables.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
And
I
soy
love.
sauce. And soy sauce.
I'm with you on that now. Okay, I like that. That's what's up. I love tacos. I'm a huge taco person, so that's my favorite thing to cook. You know, us journalists, we got to make something fast. I'm a sports
Yes.
person, so I'm evenings and nights and weekends. So when I get off late, like 11, 12 o'clock at night, I don't want to be whipping up no 4 course meal. I'm trying to whip up something real fast so I go to bed. So, so tacos is my thing for sure. Okay. Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Café Tacuba. It's a Mexican rock
Oh,
band.
okay. I'm with you on that. Mine was Lil Wayne and Drake.
Oh,
Uh,
I love
yeah,
Little Wayne.
definitely. I love Wheezy, love Drizzy, love them both, no doubt. They put on a great show. Okay, I'm with you on that. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Liverpool.
Oh, so you've been there.
Yes. Anfield.
Oh, okay. Now, was that like a family trip? Was it a friend's trip? What kind of trip was that?
It was a friend's trip, but we were gonna go see the Reds. So that's when I first fell in love with Liverpool, and the atmosphere was amazing. And
Okay,
I also
gotcha.
love the Beatles, so definitely my place.
Oh yeah, who can't love the Beatles?
Right.
What's your favorite Beatles song?
I would say Hey Jude, almost all of them because they're very like inspiring.
I'm a huge Let It Be, Yesterday, and then
Yes.
also Yellow Submarine. I love that
Yes.
one too. So yes, huge into that.
Strawberry
Now
Fields. It's a really
uh,
good one.
that's one too. Yes. Now are you gonna go see the She Believes Cup? Because I believe one of the matches is gonna be out there in San Diego with the US women's team, soccer team.
Um, I don't know yet. I haven't looked into the tickets. We're actually looking for Liverpool tickets, so we might be going to Liverpool soon. I don't know. I don't want to jinx it.
Okay, I like that. That's what's up. My favorite place is Jamaica. Recently went
Okay.
on a cruise. on my dad's side of the family. Went to Jamaica. That was beautiful. Best jerk chicken I ever had in my life. So it was amazing. And I plan on going to Greece next June, and going on a cruise on that one. So now I'm hooked. I'm hooked on cruises for sure. So I love
Oh,
it.
yay. I
Absolutely.
want to actually go on a cruise. We've talked about it before, but the idea never like, oh, let's go find tickets.
I'm not sure how many wonderful, adorable children that you have, but I'm sure if it's a getaway from the children, if for a week, if you could do that, you and your husband would definitely like that. I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
we have one right now because the career doesn't allow two yet.
I totally understand what you're talking about. Absolutely, no doubt, no doubt. Here we go. Now you're a sports person, okay? I know soccer is your favorite sport, and you may answer that. But what's your favorite sport to see in person and favorite sport to watch on TV?
Soccer all the way, but also football. I love football as well. I'm a very
Okay.
Charger fan, but as of right now, I'm not too focused in football. I'm focused in soccer.
I feel you on that. I'm
See how I
honestly,
emphasize that?
I did. I like that. I'm a huge. Um, I'm not so much into the Premier League. I need to be educated more on that. But I am a huge MLS fan.
Okay.
I love Messi. The players, I love Messi. But my team that I love to root for and watch for is the Atlanta United. I
Okay.
love Atlanta United. So for soccer wise, now football wise, I'm forever going to be a Charger. I don't care that they moved to Los Angeles.
Exactly.
LT is my favorite player of all time. So yeah, that takes me back. Going to that stadium. Now they call it the SDCCDX or whatever letters that they have for that stadium. But I remember it being Qualcomm Stadium for a long
Oh
time.
yeah. Yeah.
Long time.
My first football game was because I worked as a security, like the elite. And
Mm-hmm.
that's when I was like, barely starting college and I had like two jobs and even three, but I had that as the weekend job.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember helping people with their tickets and where to sit down, but I was just focused on the game and I was like, yeah, 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 it's over there. But I'm looking at the game, it was just like, whoa, this is crazy.
Absolutely, no question about it. I might have probably seen you doing that time frame. Because I've
Probably.
been to many. I lived across the street from Qualcomm Stadium. That's where I lived in San Diego. So those apartments where you have that Costco that's right down the street. I don't know if you're familiar with the area a lot, but there's a Costco's and a McDonald's in the plaza where IKEA is,
I think
right down
so.
the street.
Yeah.
So across the street was my apartments. That's where I lived. So,
Nice.
oh, what's
Nice.
up? Okay, now my last favorite place that you like to eat at? I know there's a lot of places out there in SD, but what's your favorite place you like to eat at?
McDonald's. I'm just kidding. um oh, let me see. Damn, this is a hard question because I
Mm.
do have several. Um, I'm just gonna go say it. My parents' restaurant, Leona's Cocina. I don't know. Just
Mm.
because my dad is a chef there as well, and so I love his food.
Now,
So
where is that located at?
that is City Heights.
I know exactly what that is. Okay, City Heights. Got you.
The
All right.
Tower Bar, which is the oldest tower in San Diego. Well, don't
Absolutely.
quote me on
Absolutely. I
that.
feel you on that. I feel you. Okay, so when I first lived there, I went to elementary school out there, which was John Adams Elementary School. So that was
Okay.
over there where Adams Street is, if you are
Yep.
familiar with that.
Mhm.
Then I transferred from there and went to Edison Elementary, which is over there by Oklahoma Boulevard and University Avenue. You went to
Me
Edison too?
too. I
Yeah,
went to Edison, but then I flunked because I went to Mexico for 8 months and I went to
hmm
school out there, came back and the whole English erased. So
absolutely.
I had to start from
Absolutely.
scratch. And that's when I started, struggling and learning by myself. So
Totally understand that. Yeah, I remember because there used to be we lived on 36th Street,
okay.
4230 36th Street. And it was a one bedroom apartment. I remember my mama having to say, "Boy, go get some Church's chicken," which was right down the street from my house. And we used to always go to I don't know if you remember Hometown Buffet.
Yes, I
Um,
loved Hometown Buffet. Oh my
Okay,
god.
so we went to the one that was on 58th Street, on
Okay.
University and 58th Street, where they would have the food for less. I remember,
Oh
and they
my
would
god,
have
yes. Me
yeah, and they
too.
would have the Wonderland. I don't know if they have the 5 cent Wonderland over there no more, but
I
it's
don't think
been
so.
yeah. And they used to have a movie theater in that same plaza.
Oh
Which,
yeah, my mom used to take me there. It's not
yep,
there
yep.
anymore.
Not there no more. Okay,
No.
got you. So yes, that's where I lived before I moved. Like I told you, across the street from Qualcomm. I lived over there in Normal Heights. So I
Okay.
remember as a kid growing up going to the Adams Street Fair, which is one of the biggest
Yes,
street fairs. It was amazing. I would used to go there all the time and have
me
a really
too.
good for sure. That's what's up. I love that. I'm gonna have to try out your father's restaurant when I come there. I'm gonna have to say hello to you as well and meet you in
Yes.
person.
I
No
work there
question.
Thursday and Sunday.
Thursday and Sunday. Okay,
Mhm.
so when I come see family back there, I'm gonna come see you too, and we'll have a drink. Let's do that.
Yes. I'll send you the Instagram because I
Okay.
manage that one. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, say less. Now, this next question I got for you is about your day to day. As you know, as journalists, now I'm a freelancer because I've been in this industry for about 6 years. I was working in different publications. Now I freelance. But even when I was working in publications, writing stories, every day would be different. There'd be a different game to report on, a different athlete to talk to, and it all sorts of times of the day. In the morning, signing days, afternoon games, night games, all that. And for you, I can imagine it's the same because you do different stories every single day. Talk to me about your process of getting ready, having to, do stories. How do you find stories? The stories be appointed to you. Talk to me about when your day starts and when your day normally ends.
So we don't have an assignment editor, and I used to be an assignment editor here in CBS 8. So that's the luxury of markets that are like above the hundreds.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of someone saying, "Hey, no story, no problem. Here you go." I have to look for it. And the tools that I used is Facebook, Instagram, social media,
Social
or
media.
the connections that I have made over the past 2 years that I've been working in the valley. Um,
Okay.
or also, police logs, or just calling yeah, police departments and saying, "Hey, you guys working on something today?" Or people who have my number, they just send me tips, and they say, "Hey, this is what just occurred and this is what I just saw." So that's when I start making my connections. I start preparing a day before, because
Mm.
I want to have my interviews already set up. So I live in San Diego and I travel almost every day to the Imperial County, which is an
Mm.
hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, my back is already screaming, "Hey girl, you gotta stop." Um, so I want to make sure that my day is ready to go.
Mm.
I want to make sure that once I hit the valley, I'm going towards and I'm going to my first interview. So that's how
Absolutely.
I set up my whole things a day before, make sure that everything's in. We use a program called Inception. Make sure that I have my story in there and who I'm going to talk to and all that. So I go to my first interview, and hold that thought because I have low battery, but I'm going to start moving real quick.
You
I
good.
do my first
Don't worry.
interview. I did my first interview like around 10:35, and mind you, I'm working with Arizona time, so they're like an hour ahead of us. So deadlines are obviously an hour before the actual deadline on my end.
Hmm.
So I make sure I have my first interview, and I go to my first interview, and then from there I don't waste time and I go to my second interview.
Hmm.
I have everything tied in. I have my question. And this is funny because I don't develop the questions yet. I don't do questions. I don't write down questions. I just go there and they talk to me. I always start with this question: Tell me what happened. And
Right.
that's when, the PIO or the police chief, they tell me like, this and this and that. But when they start talking, I start analyzing of what happened. I start picturing it in my brain. And
Sure.
that's how I start developing questions right there and then. And I already know what to say. If it's a crime story, which is my favorite one, I always say why, when, who, and where. Um,
Sure.
and if there's more stuff that I want to know because I'm trying to picture it, they let me know and stuff like that. And that's how I work. Once I get everything tied in and make sure I feel like this tip is for all journalists. And mind you, that I'm still learning, but I feel like if you have some MOSs, I'm not sure if you're familiar with that term, but it's man on street or woman on street. I feel
Okay.
like the community, if you add that to your story, gives it more juice to your story. Like a random person, like, hey, did you hear that this happened? And they're like, no, but I heard it, or whatever you'll find. And usually I'm pretty good at that.
Mhm.
So once I'm done with my stuff, I get B-roll. I'm try to, picture what they just told me in my head and try to visualize and try to get the angles because I'm my own camera person. And as soon as I'm done, I get something to eat. If I have time, I sit down in my office and I just start typing and try to really picture how I'm gonna put the story together. And then I send it to my boss. My boss sends it back, and I put the whole video together. And the last thing I do is, well, it used to be the last thing. Now it's the first thing, but I do my stand up. I used to do my stand up last, but now
Right.
I do it first, especially when it comes to a crime story and that crime scene is still fresh, visual. You can visualize what it is.
Absolutely. No doubt. I like that. Now, what time do you typically start as far as in the morning times? Are you early in the morning or are you in the afternoon to night? Like when does your shift start and when does your shift end?
So if you're talking about, well, I always say that the day that I start getting like, those phone calls and making those connections to set up interviews, I would say at night. Let me the a day before. But if
Hmm.
you really want to talk about like when I'm really interviewing people, 10:30. And
Okay.
that's because I have to travel from San Diego to Imperial County. But if I that wasn't the case, then my day would start maybe 8:39,
Okay. And you say it probably ends around what, 5, 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock, yes.
Six
And then
o'clock.
start
Okay.
traveling back home because I go
Yep.
home every day. Mhm.
Got you. I love that. I love that. So let's talk about mental health and work-life balance. As you know, Karina, these terms have been very prevalent in our industry now, even more so than ever. People are starting to come out and talk about their mental health, which is great. But there's people that's leaving the industry because of that as well. I've had many colleagues that were journalists and in this journalism industry that have left because of mental health or the work-life balance, right? Not spending enough time with family because the schedule, you have to work holidays as well. Most holidays, sometimes you might get a holiday off or two. But talk to me about how you keep your mental health strong and also have that work-life balance because you seem like a wonderful person to be around. There's no question about that. But you are a daughter, you are a friend, you are a mother, you are a wife, and you have many things outside of your journalism occupation. So tell me, how do you keep that and not experience burnout or being overworked?
Unfortunately, that was my struggle. I This year was not my year. Mental health is real, and I never thought that mental health was like, I always say, oh, mental health, yeah. But
Right.
this year it really hit me. Mental health is real. Because you said it first. I don't really see my family that much. But I always say, hey, the goal is coming back home, and that's when I'm gonna have time. But then I see my daughter and she's passing through. She's in second grade right now, and
Mhm.
I'm just like kind of having a little glimpse of her life and then focusing on work, which it should be focusing on work. Don't focus on work once you're home and just focus on your daughter. But unfortunately, um, it's not like that when you're a journalist.
It's
So
not. It's not.
I'm still trying to, balance things. And now I'm just part time. I just work at my work for 3 days now. And since my parents opened up a restaurant, I told them like I need to help them as well. And that has gave me the luxury of, release and just focus on my baby. I call her baby because but she's 8 years old.
Right.
And my husband, and now I see my mom and dad and my siblings often, which is amazing. But you still have that thing in the back of your head like, I better not start getting lazy because all that hard work you did, but
Hmm.
I think
Yep.
right now I'm in a good stage. I just feel like the tips that I don't take, it's like when work is done, work is done. When you're at home, you're at home. Okay. And that's what my
Hmm.
mentors always stressed out. Like, Okay, do not answer your emails, do not answer your text messages. Once you're home, you're home. So don't do that. And that's what I'm still trying to, put in my life.
Absolutely, and I appreciate the transparency and your openness on that. I don't think we ever gonna have it 100%, Karina. I really don't. As journalists, it's very hard to do. Like you said, it's hard to turn off our phones because our job, our occupations is solely based off social media, also solely based off being first with the information and accurate. And I'll be honest too. Relationships have suffered. I am single, and I'm someone that's in my 30s as well. So it is tough to develop relationships, especially when you're working from afternoon to night. Because when you get off at 11 at midnight, nobody's trying to hang out on Tuesday at midnight. Nobody's trying to do that. Or if you're off on a Wednesday afternoon, like everybody else is working business hour times. So it's pretty tough to do that, right? So it definitely relationships suffer. And that's the one reason why I love to do this podcast is that people need to know this is a wonderful business to be in. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
amazing to story tell and be able to meet some people because you do some incredible stories and you meet some amazing people. But you also have to understand that sometimes people get a misconception too, right? They see you on TV, they see you all dolled up, very pretty. Oh man, she must have a makeup team. They must, you know what I mean? Giving us the 411, but they don't know what goes behind the scenes. Like you just talked about. You know, you're a mom, you have your baby. There's days where you barely even see your baby because you was working. And when you working full time, that happens all the time. And it's tough to be away from your kids because you feel like you're missing their life. And you feel like life
exactly.
is passing you by, and now you're not seeing your family as much. You coming home, it's redundant. You're doing the same repetition until you end up making a decision for yourself to say, you know what, maybe I should take some time. Maybe I should back off a little bit and cut my days down, so that way I can give my brain a rest, so I don't experience burnout. So the reason why I do this podcast is that people need to know the behind the scenes and the effects that it takes on people. It affects people in different ways, but if you want to do this, you got to do it for the right reasons and not for the reasons that you think may come about.
And you know what? There was times where I just wanted to give up. I said, you know what? I love journalism. Maybe I'll just
Mhm.
start doing my own stuff, But then I said, no, because a quitter, I mean, I'm not a quitter. My parents always taught me to like, look, it's a rocky road. In order for you to get to where you want to be, there's gonna
Absolutely,
be some challenges and you're gonna have to accept them because this ain't for the weak. They always said,
it's
this ain't
not.
for the weak, and you're not a weak, soul. You're actually a strong one. And funny story, I just want to add that.
Talk to
One of
me.
the reasons why I love Liverpool is because they help me through my mental stress and stuff like that. When I see a game, I don't worry about anything. I just, you know, like to see my boys win.
I know you do. You tap out. You definitely tap out, yelling, screaming. And like I said,
Oh yeah.
anybody following your social, they know you down with Liverpool, no
Oh,
question.
they love when I come in the pub. They're like, Karina's here. Yes.
That's right. That's right. Now that's a great segue because I want to ask you about advice. What is some advice that you would tell somebody that might have graduated from college, that might be an intern at your station right now, or that might be a little seasoned in age, like myself, that wants to get in this journalism industry? What kind of advice would you give that individual?
Stay with your, I mean, stay positive at all times because
Hmm.
there's sometimes that I stay negative and boy, does not work. Stay
Okay.
positive. There's challenges, but you can overcome. And there's a saying in Spanish, and hopefully it comes out right. Don't get at me if it doesn't, but it's something like Dios aprieta pero no ahorca, which is in English is God would it will, just put a little bit of pressure on your neck, but it won't completely kill you, you know. So like my parents always say, you are not a quitter, you are a go-getter. So that's my advice, don't just because things don't go your way or just because a job is stressful or you're getting homesick, don't give up because you started something and you need to end it. And I come from like I said, you heard my story here. I wasn't supposed to be a journalist. I just did it because, I stuck to it. I went to college for 10 years. I'm not ashamed to say it. I
Mm-hmm.
got pregnant in college. I still didn't give up. I literally, when I had my daughter, the following day, I was still in the hospital and I took a test. I was working on a story when I was, having contractions. So
Sure.
that's not like, do not give up because you did all this for nothing.
What other advice you would give specifically women that want to be mothers in this industry that and also that are married? Because it's very difficult, obviously, to do this full time and be that and try to have everything, but also try to have a successful career. What kind of advice would you give women specifically on that?
I'm gonna be a little hypocrite because I don't take this advice, but I have it in my head.
Hmm.
Have a planner, have a plan. A day before you wake up, just be like, look, I'm gonna dedicate this time to my job, come home and completely turn off everything and dedicate this time. And obviously there's no time of dedication when it comes to your children and your husband because they're your biggest asset. And I mean, how do you say it? They're the biggest people that you want to stay.
Biggest supporters, yeah,
Exactly. You want to have
yeah,
more time for them and stuff like that.
right, right.
In a perfect world. But always have like, a strategy or yeah, always have a plan
Hmm.
um before you execute that day, I would
I
say.
feel that. I
Yeah.
feel that. Okay, that's what's up. Now, we have came to the portion of the podcast, Karina, that we're going to do my interactive game, which is called This or That. So, what
Okay.
that means is I'm going to throw some things at you, and you get to choose this or that. It's a game that I like to play with all my guests here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. So, Karina, second
Oh,
time I'm going to ask you, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's
All
go.
right, here we go. So, which chicken place would you rather go eat at? Popeyes or KFC?
Popeyes.
That's my girl. We starting off good. We you on point like a period. I love it. Let's do it now. Let's do it. Here we go. When it comes to chicken wing flavors, which flavor are you choosing to put on a wing? Barbecue or lemon pepper?
Dang. I would say both, but lemon pepper. Lemon
I would
pepper.
say I would say both too. Now I would. I would. But if I'm choosing one, yep, you right with it. Lemon pepper. Here we go. How you like your wings? Wet or dry?
What?
Okay. Do you like bone in or boneless wings?
Boneless wings. I don't like to struggle.
Okay, you like the meat. That's what you saying. Okay, so all right, get a wet wipe and go to work. Wet boneless wings. I love that. Okay,
Yep.
here we go. Now,
Saucy. Saucy.
saucy. And now listen, I do like buffalo sauce too. I just want to
Ooh,
preface that here.
same here.
Buffalo is
I thought
very
you were gonna say
good.
buffalo.
Buffalo is very good, but barbecue and lemon pepper on my top two. So I just threw that out there. Here we go. These next four have to do with music concerts you rather go to. So here we go. Which music concert would you rather attend? Would you rather go see Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, all right with it. Here we go. Next concert. Which concert would you rather go to, Beyonce or Rihanna?
Rihanna.
Ooh, okay, you was pretty decisive on that one. I like that.
Rihanna, that's
Which
the girl.
she's dope. She is definitely dope.
Mhm.
Which concert would you rather go to? Would you rather go see Megan Thee Stallion or SZA?
Megan.
Okay, all right, here we go. Now the last one for the music. Which concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Ozuna or Romeo Santos?
Romeo Santos.
Oh, of course. Mind you, quick story. I
Eh,
used to do event security in Atlanta, Georgia. That's where I went to undergrad.
okay.
And Romeo Santos concert was one of the concerts I did for security. I was near the stage, and these women would go absolutely crazy for this man. I mean, he all he did was walk out from the stage, and he walked into the crowd, and they were trying to touch him, throw him, grab him, anything. I'm like, ladies, y'all need to calm down. Like this man is just walking, right? Yes, absolutely. But they were going crazy for him. They also bum rushed the stage too. But we had a barricade between that. But I'm wondering why do ladies just go crazy for this man like no other artist?
You know what? I honestly don't. I'm not for the looks. I'm more like, and people are gonna be like, yeah, right. I'm not for the looks. I love the
Hmm.
way he sings. He
I'm
sings
sure.
beautifully. I love the way he sings. The lyrics are just like, what? Crazy, but he makes it like sound good. I've never been to his concerts because his tickets are like kind of not for me. But
I feel you. I feel you.
yeah, I like Romeo Santos.
Okay, I'm with you on that. Now he was with the Grand Aventura, if I'm
Yes,
not mistaken. That's
yes.
his group. Okay, got you. All right, so here we
Well,
go.
someone I clean right now.
Right, right. Which sport would you rather watch on TV? Basketball or hockey?
Basketball.
Okay, I'm with you on that. Which sport would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Ooh, bowling.
You sure?
Going bowl. Just kidding. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Are you good? Are you good at bowling?
I mean, yeah. I mean, when we start, I get all like, "Yeah, let's do this," and yeah. But at the end, I end up losing. But
Okay, I'm about
yeah.
to say.
I'm alright. I'm decent. I'm not like, whoa, dang, but I'm whoa, dang.
I call cap. That's cap. I'm calling
Okay, yeah.
cap on you.
I'm all right. I'm good. I'm good.
Excuse me. Do you need the bumpers?
No.
Okay, that's good. As long as you don't need the bumpers for bowling, you straight. That's all that matters.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you like desserts?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I'm about to name 4 categories. One of these categories you have to choose to never eat again.
Oh.
So here we go. First one is ice cream. The second one is cookies. The third one is candy. The last one is cakes/pies. Which one are you getting rid of that you'll never eat again?
What was the second one again?
The second one was cookies.
Cookies.
You gonna get rid of cookies?
I'm gonna get rid of cookies.
Wow, 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 Karina.
My
Okay,
daughter over
what's
here
your
be mad. She's like, no.
wow? Okay, now what's your favorite ice cream?
Mint chocolate.
Okay, I'm with you on that. Mine is chocolate chip cookie dough.
Okay. I
So
like
yes,
that one too. That one's good.
yeah, it's pretty good, pretty good. Okay, here we go. Cold Stone over there, Cold Stone in San Diego is amazing, no
Oh
question about
yeah. Uh-huh.
it. Okay, I'm with. Do you like
Expensive
potato chips?
too.
You said what?
Expensive too.
Yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying about that. Listen. That's why I don't go over there much. But when I do, I get the double scoop, either
Yes.
chocolate chip cookie dough or the cookies and cream. Either one of those, I'm with it. Okay, okay, I like that. Do you like potato chips?
Yes.
Okay, same format. I'm gonna name 4 brands. You gotta get rid of one of these brands. Okay, here we go. First one is Doritos. The
Mhm.
second one is Lay's. The third one is Pringles. The last one is Ruffles. Which one are you getting rid of that you'll never eat again?
Ruffles.
Oh hell no! You did not just say.
I gotta go buy Ruffles.
Oh, oh no, Karina, we've been vibing the whole damn podcast. You said that with pride too. I mean, Ruffles, that's the greatest chip ever made.
No, I don't get Ruffles a lot.
Okay, talk, what's your favorite chip?
Uh, right now I feel like it's a Mexican chip. I think it's called crujiente, something like that. But it's a big purple bag. And no, it's not Takis, but it's like a potato chip that has like that lemon spice. And I get it in Imperial County all the time. It's here too in San Diego, but it's just so good. My second one is probably Doritos, but the Tapatio ones.
Okay, okay, now, I'll get you on those. I'll get you
Oh,
on those. My favorite is the sour cream and cheddar Ruffles because you could use them in any dip, especially buffalo chicken dip. I'm a huge buffalo chicken dip person, so
try
yeah,
that.
no doubt, it's pretty good. Okay, okay, you did pretty good on this or that, except for your potato chip comment, but that's okay. We're gonna let you slide on that one. That's all right. We can't be perfect, so it's all good. I love asking this next question to all journalists. Now, if journalism wasn't your career, which career path would you have went down and why?
Crime scene investigating. Yes.
Okay, crime scene investigating. Okay, so you would have been like one of them like NCIS type cops or
Yep.
law and order type cops.
Mhm.
Okay, I like that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I would have chose theater myself.
Okay.
Um, Definitely love plays, love musicals. I'm a huge musical person, so I love that. Love that for sure.
I would
Okay.
say actress too, but that's like a little nobody knows little type of bug.
I love that. I can definitely see you in front of the camera. You're definitely very good in front of the camera. So I can see that. That's for sure. I got two top fours. The first top four is about your career. I need a top four bucket list of stories that you would like to do that you haven't done yet.
Dang.
You,
Wow.
you've done some very good stories, but there got to be some stories out there that you would love to do that you haven't done yet.
I would say a story like me. A person who thought that they couldn't reach their goal, but at the end of the day, they did, and they are helping a community.
Hmm.
I don't know, like something like that.
Like a feature story is what you're
Stories
talking about.
like a feature story, but like s- where you can learn from it. Like I've done stories that are featured and stuff like that, but it's like somewhere where a person or a viewer can see it and set and it sparks that little,
Mhm.
oh, I can do it too. Then if this person can do it, then I'm gonna do it too.
So like defies the odds almost.
Yeah.
Defies the odds. Okay, got you on that. Okay. Would you like to ever do a sports story?
Oh
Like cover a
yes.
sports game? Okay.
Yes. Yes. I have one in mind. I don't know if I can say it here, but I would love to do. I would like when I come to San Diego, I would like to do a story of like the a pup that we go to. It's called Princess Pup here in San Diego, and it's this guy who comes from Liverpool, was born and raised in Liverpool, but he
Mhm.
started like when he came to the well, he didn't come to the US first, but he landed in Mexicali, and that's when he came to the US and started his pup, and now he's, you know, that
I
he has
love
a
it.
pup.
I love it. I love that. That'd be a great story to do. What about maybe you did a Comic-Con story. What about one of those type of events that you would like to do in San Diego? Is there any event that you would like to do?
Probably like a I don't know if you're familiar with Logan Heights,
Mhm.
but there's always
Yeah,
like events there that don't get highlighted, especially like, the Spanish Heritage Month or
sure.
uh
Absolutely.
yeah, or any other events that emphasizes on different cultures. I
I
would
love
love
that.
to bring that window of like opening like a window for different cultures, like
I
I
can see
love
that.
cultures. I love to learn different other cultures. That's what I
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay, now maybe for a last one, what about the Olympics? Now the Olympics is coming to California in 2028 in Los Angeles. Would you ever consider covering the Olympics?
Heck yeah. Especially
Okay.
finding that underdog story,
Hmm.
finding that story like, hey, I didn't know I could make it here, but I'm here now. Or having
Right.
that, local connection.
I love that. I do. I mean, obviously, me being in sports, Super Bowl is one, NBA Finals is one, national championship game, basketball and football is one, and the Olympics. Yes, those
World
would
Cup.
probably be my bucket list of top four for sure. I would love to cover any of one of those events, especially being in my hometown state of California. That would be amazing to do.
Or actually the
Um,
World Cup. The World Cup is coming.
World Cup is coming too. Absolutely. I would
Ooh.
definitely wouldn't mind doing that for sure. Just even being there, even being attending there, because I believe they're going to have some matches in Atlanta, Georgia, as well. I'm not sure what matches they're going to have, but yeah, I just want to be there. I want to experience the World Cup vibes for sure, no question. The second top four that I have for you is about your top four stories that you have done, right? We talked about bucket list of things you wanted to do, but what is like a top four stories that's memorable to you that you've done in your career?
My first one has to be Living on the Streets. I recently won an Emmy with that story.
Mm,
And I was actually recognized by the California Senate, Mr. Padilla, for that story.
Okay.
That is my ultimate favorite just because I mean, so we have a homeless issue, or not an issue, but like they say it's a problem where there's a lot of unsheltered people.
No question.
And
No question.
we always hear those stories on the news like, hey, we have a new shelter home for unsheltered people, or we have this, or this is a problem and all that, but we really don't focus on how they feel and how they live. So in that story, I spoke to a unsheltered couple, and I got to connect with them the whole entire day. I got to see how they lived. I got to see what they feel. I got to see why they got to that stage of their life, um,
Hmm.
and what are their likings and stuff. And that story was very challenging because they were going through relapses. They had fever. They had like the lady had fever because she is a drug addict, and
Right.
she's trying to not be that anymore, and
Trying
obviously
to kick the habit.
her body started to like relapse, and she started having like a fever, and she told me like, I don't want to do this story, I don't feel good. But what I did, just stayed with them, I spoke to them, I made sure they were comfortable enough, um,
Hmm.
and I actually started seeing, like, I was there for her health because I was kind of worried. I mean, she had a fever, so I was like, "You guys want something from the store?" So I literally just went to the store, made sure that they were okay, and that's when she opened up and the story was there. But I followed them through the whole day and made sure that I got everything that I needed for that story to tell their story. The second one is probably the cancer and the barber one, just because that was a very touchy story. My camera was a little dirty, but it's okay. Um I really like that story because it, like, she showed her whole emotion there and
She
stuff.
did. She did.
Yeah, and it was on the nightly news with Lester Holt. It was on the weekend, so it wasn't really Lester Holt. It was the other person, but I loved it. Um, the third one, it has to be a crime story. The one there's a case, a murder case that I'm following right now, and I'm going to court. I haven't been because it's gonna go towards the next year when they're gonna
Okay.
have the trial again. But basically, that story is about how an ex-husband planned this whole murder to murder his ex-wife, and
Oh wow.
yeah, in the details, I hate to say this, but I really like crime stories. I also have a podcast on Spotify that I talk about crime stories and stuff. And the
Yep.
fourth one was a sports story. It's
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's one of like the stories in the beginning that when I first started. It was Mexico versus, I think it was during the World Cup, but it was just really cool how the community or the people, or Imperial County, got together in this little restaurant to root for Mexico. And yeah, that's my fourth story that I liked.
I love it. I do. I love that. What is some advice that someone has gave you, Karina, that you hold on dearly to?
I would say my mentor, her name is Vanessa. Before I started all of this, before I got deep into journalism, I asked her to be my mentor, and she told me this is going to be a tough road and only the weak will quit. She didn't really say it like that, but she gave me that tip like that, and she tells me all this all the time, like, hey,
Right.
it's going to be tough, but you know, yeah. And I remember when I first had my mental breakdown, and I told her like, she's like, I told you it's gonna be tough. That's what she
Right.
said, but you have to stick to it if you want it. And I did.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Nothing is worth having without a little bit of adversity or hardship that comes along with it. No question about it. You talked about your podcast. I would love to know How often do you do your podcast? How many episodes do you drop per week, or is it just strictly based on kind of how you're feeling and stuff like that? But talk to me about the origins of your podcast and what do you do with it?
I'm gonna start it again. I already have something cooking. I just need to finish it off. But I was supposed to drop a new episode October 31st. But Halloween
Mm,
is my favorite holiday, so that came
okay,
through. I got sick, my voice was gone for a little bit. And then I got the Emmy, and then it was Thanksgiving. So it's just been busy. But it's there. People who are still waiting because I know a lot of people are like asking me, like, hey, when are you gonna drop your episode? But I started
right.
my podcast, and it was originally called Through My Glasses because I'm blind as a bat. I use glasses, but now I wear contacts, so that's wasn't it didn't go well with me wearing contacts and not glasses anymore. So I switched it to the Bazarte show. But I started my podcast in college, in Mesa College. Um,
Oh,
yeah, and it was first like a little like I'm gonna test this out, and we're gonna talk about culture, and we're gonna talk about music, and we're gonna talk about my likings and Drake and this and that. So it was actually about music first. And then the second season rolled around, and I partnered up with one of my friends. And it was about mental health and also like scary stories. So then I said, I'm gonna start it again, and I started it as a crime case podcast.
okay. So you kind of rebranded it, is what
Yeah.
what you. Okay, I like that. I like that. Now, where can they catch this podcast? How long does the episodes normally go for?
Spotify, and well, you can listen to the last one that I uploaded, which was 2 years ago. But like I said, it's coming again, and
Got you.
this time is here to stay.
Okay, all right. I love that. I love that. We're getting close to the end of the podcast, Karina. So what we're gonna do is some rapid fire. So basically, what that means is I'm gonna throw some things at you, and the first thing that comes to your mind, you go ahead and answer it. Now, for the last time, I'm about to ask you, Karina, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Let's do it. Burgers or tacos?
What?
Burgers or taco? Burgers or tacos?
Tacos, obviously, taquitos.
You had the most shocked look on your face when I asked that. Okay, oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. Chicken or ribs?
Dang. Barbecue ribs,
Okay, okay, I'm with that. Pancakes or waffles?
waffles,
Okay. Favorite color?
black and pink, and
Okay. Favorite TV show or Netflix series?
dang. That is a good one. Stranger Things. Stranger Things. Oh my goodness. What? Stranger
Yeah,
Things is my
I'm
show.
waiting on. I'm waiting on season 5. I really
Oh,
am.
me
I'm waiting on
too.
season
I'm
5.
such a fan of Stranger Things. I don't know why that went over my head. I'm sorry. Scratch that. Stranger Things.
That's all good. That's okay. No problem. Now, if you had 3 people plus you to take on vacation, who would you take and where would you go? Now, they could be family, friends, or celebrities.
What? Definitely my husband because he's my ride or die. So he understands my like how I'm funny. He laughs, so it makes me feel cool. Um,
Okay.
definitely my daughter, just because like she everywhere I take her, she's just quiet and she like really likes everything, and I want to
Okay.
teach her. And I want to add 3 more people, my siblings. My sister and my 2 brothers, if I can take them as well.
Well, how about you take your siblings, and then where would you go? Where would you go?
Oh man, you're gonna be like obsession is for real. Liverpool and just
Liverpool.
Amsterdam. And
Okay.
yeah, I love Europe.
I love it. I love
Shout
it.
out
That's
to
awesome.
Europe.
That is awesome. I love that. I love that. If you had 3 songs or 3 artists to listen to that you could listen to on repeat and never get tired of, who would those 3 songs or 3 artists be?
Selena Gomez, obviously. Love Selena
Hmm.
Gomez.
Hmm.
The Beatles
Okay.
and Café Tacuba.
Okay. All three different artists. I love that. I love that. Favorite alcoholic drink?
Ooh, Bailey's.
Who was that?
Bailey's?
Yeah, what's that?
Oh, it's basically like an Irish cream.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm
And
intrigued.
micheladas. I'm
I'm
not an
definitely intrigued.
alcoholic, I swear.
I feel that. I feel that. I'm huge into Hennessy, so that's my drink. My drink is
Okay.
Hennessy. So I love my hen dog for sure. Okay. Which sport would you play that you would absolutely dominate in?
Soccer, and I'm also a black belt in karate.
Okay. Which sport would you play that you would absolutely suck in?
Oh no, I'm a very competitive person, but I think golf.
Ooh, okay. I can feel that. I can feel that. Okay. Uh, if they came to you and said, Karina, you only can choose this genre of, reporting to do. I'm gonna give you four different genres. Would it be sports? Would it be music and entertainment? Would it be news? Or would it be weather? Which one would you do for the rest of your career if you only could choose one of those?
News.
If they came to you and said, Karina, you're only going to get to do one of these two. That's be a reporter or be an anchor. Which one would you do?
Reporter.
I like that. I like that. You did pretty good. Pretty good on rapid fire, Karina. And you've been an amazing, amazing guest for this entire podcast episode, talking about your beginnings, of your why, of getting into journalism, overcoming the odds of growing up tough. Obviously, I know about being in San Diego and growing up. Everybody thinks it's just a luxurious town, and it really there's some spots there in San Diego that's not very luxurious. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
right then and there. I know that personally. So talking about overcoming odds with your family, to being able to go to school, graduate, to get a degree, now be a wife, mother in the industry that you truly love. And you've done some amazing stories just doing my background research on them. So obviously you're very talented, very professional, and very passionate about it. And your beauty exhibits your beauty exhibits that as well as all of those things that I just mentioned.
Thank
So
you. I really appreciate you having me on this show.
no doubt. My last question, as always, for every guest that I have on here is there anything else you would like to add about yourself, the job, or anything at all before we conclude?
Sure. When I retire, I want to write a book and also I want to be a stand-up comedian.
Okay. Well, I'm coming to the first show. I'm coming to the first show, wherever that is. You got to let me know because I'm definitely down with that. And whatever book you write, you just let me know where I can buy it from. Hopefully, it is one of those audio books because I love me some audio books. And
Oh yeah.
I'll definitely buy it for sure. But the next time I come back to the West Coast in San Diego, I would definitely say hello to you, no doubt about it, and visit that restaurant because I'm always down for the food. So,
Thank
with that being said, no question. You enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Happy New Year to you and your loved ones, and we will be in touch.
Yes. Thank you.
No
Bye.
problem.